Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. We made it to the weekend and I hope yours has started well. Hello everybody who has been in that chat room very early on tonight. I got started about 10 past 11 and started the poll very early on as well. And the two songs that we have are Hero, as always, in the last few live streams, that has been trying to be played. But we also have Don't Stop Believing in there as well, because that was requested because it's Steve Perry's birthday. So we're going to see, it looks like Don't Stop Believing has 55% of the votes so far. But let me get you guys up on screen so we can see who's in the live chat room tonight. And we have Billy in there, Laurie, Lewis, Bob, Nancy, Bev, Laurie, Totola Poker, Charlie, Vince, Kevin, Paula as well, Laurie in there moderating. Hello guys, thank you for joining me. And I can just see that Orlando has donated $5 and is just going through. We will address that in a second. I'm just going to refresh my screen. Hopefully it's not going to make everything freeze, just so that I can see the donation that came in beforehand, because I think there was one that came in from Jennifer, so I'm going to get that up on screen so at least I have access to that, because they disappear as soon as we go live. But hello all of you in the live chat room. As you come through the door, if you could hit that thumbs up, it'll be massively appreciated, because we always have a target for these live streams in order to have a pick roulette the next week. And tonight's likes goal is set at 285. So we are currently at, I think, 132, it looks like. Let's get it up on screen. There it is, 133. So keep on hitting that thumbs up. If you haven't used your thumbs up token yet, we will hopefully have a pick roulette next week, depending on the likes for tonight. But we are going to be having a pick roulette tonight because we reached the target last week. So thank you for tuning in last week. And if you're a returning live streamer, hello. And we're pretty much all returning live streamers, myself included, on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. That is the time and those are the days to catch a live stream if you want to interact in a live setting. I know that the analysis videos, I do interact in the comment section where possible. Obviously, there's quite a lot of subscribers now, so I make sure that I read all of the comments, but I can't respond to every single one because there are just way too many. But I do read them all, and I mark all of them to show you that I have read them as well. So, talking about subscribers, let me get this up on screen, because we have just reached 227,000 subscribers, which is a crazy amount of people. And on the last live stream, I think we had 225,000. So yeah, it's going up a little bit crazily. This live stream was actually titled as the 226,000 subscriber celebration, but it did just clock over to 227,000. So that is official, and thank you guys for subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and getting notified, clicking that box as well. That means that you will never miss a video. So things are just taking off. I'm trying to keep up with everything, as you can imagine. With the increased subscriber count, there are more emails, more messages that all come with that, and the other emails like sponsorship emails and stuff, I don't generally do that on the channel. But yeah, I've had actually an interesting one came in the other day, and it was, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a jewelry store that does jewelry that's like skulls and like, I think gothic type stuff. But yeah, that was interesting. I haven't actually replied to that email yet, and it did come in a couple of days ago, but I am getting round to responding to all of the emails. And I did mention over on Patreon that I was approached by another company that I think I still haven't replied to, but I will. Monday is my admin day, so that's when I get through all of my emails. But I think they were approaching about some isolation software, you know, taking vocals from songs and like guitars, different instruments from songs, isolating them. I think that's probably due to the recent videos that I've been doing on the channel, probably wanting to get their software used. But yeah, just interesting things that will pop up, and I'll keep you guys informed over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. You can join in there if you want to stay in the loop all the time. But as for emails, messages, I generally get through those on the most part on a Monday and a Thursday. So just trying to keep up with everything, but I'm sure things will slow down at some point. They always do, but at the moment things are just racing along. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen while I mention patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And it looks like the patron list is gone a little bit funny. It's starting to do it in a weird order. Usually it says Wings of Pegasus patrons first. I'm going to click on this just to see what it thinks it is doing. And yeah, it's just thrown a bit of a wobbly. So the next time that it goes through, it should say sponsored by the Wings of Pegasus patrons. I'm sure all the names will go through, but sometimes it just does it a bit randomly. Let me see if I can get rid of it. If I start it again, what happens? It's leaving us in suspense by not showing what's about to go through. If it says sponsored by, and there we have it. So that quick reset means that it'll go through in exactly the same order. I have been adding names to it. If you want to get your name on this at the bottom of the screen during all the live streams, head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. I always say that is the foundation of the channel because it is. That is the address. And if YouTube stopped, that is where I would be. And this is what just allows me to do everything on YouTube anyway. So a massive thank you to you guys. You know who you are. Head over there if you want to get involved yourself. So let's get rid of that. We've got all the names on screen. We've got the likes goal. Let's get the donations tab up there so that you know that 35 to 45% of every donation through the super chat window goes to YouTube. And on PayPal, 3 to 5% goes to PayPal. So just having a lay of the land for you. But yeah, let's get back to those donations that I mentioned because it was Jennifer and Orlando. Jennifer donated, actually Orlando donated first, early doors in the super chat window. And this was for $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, I am the 24th like. Spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. Great idea. And 204 likes, so that was quite a while ago. And let's have a plug of the mug while we mention Orlando's donation. That's what we always do here. But if you want to get your hands on some of the merchandise, including mugs, click on the tray underneath this video or click on the link in the description to get your hands on Wings of Pegasus hoodies or t-shirts, whatever you want. You can go over to wingsofpegasus.com/merch if you want to get necklaces and earrings and all that kind of stuff. That's Carla's merch that you'll find over on the website. So thank you, Orlando, for that. Jennifer donated $10, and thank you for that, Jennifer. The message is, Phil, if a concert promoter gets caught trying to stiff a band, who repays the band? It's money, or is it lost to lawyer fees? Thanks. So thank you for that. And it depends what kind of level you are at, because if you're playing a big show, then you will have contracts. And if you have sold, I mean, the way that it works here in the UK as an independent band, you have to sell, say, £300 worth of tickets, and the venue this is what's so stupid, the venue and the promoter give you the tickets and you pay them £300, so you're basically paying them to print off little bits of paper. You go and sell those bits of paper, which are the tickets, and then you give them the £300. So they've now made £300 from you doing lots of work to sell these tickets, and that is it. You don't get paid for the gig, you just get to do the gig. And if you do sell lots and lots of tickets, then they might give you maybe £1 per ticket over the amount of tickets that you've sold. So say that you've sold 50 or 60 tickets. Usually the arrangement is that if you say bring 100 people, that's 40 over the 60 tickets that you were given. So then you get £40, like £1 per ticket over the 60. So for a group of 4 of you, or a band of 4, it means that you're going home with a cool £40, which is £10 each, which wouldn't even cover your petrol. So yeah, it's a bit silly, but for independent artists, unfortunately, that's just the way of it at the moment, and it's even worse with COVID at the moment. So this was pre-COVID I'm talking about, so that's the kind of money that you would make as an independent band. That's why I say that it's better just to set everything up online and just sell your album, get your downloads. If people download your songs, then just make sure you own your publishing and you'll get paid a hell of a lot more. I mean, just selling one album is the same as if you're going to play a gig, and if you're going to play a gig in front of 100 people, I mean, most people in independent bands, they would love to play in front of 100 people. All you need to do yourself in order to earn the same amount of money as an independent artist is to sell one album. If you're selling it for $9.99 or £9.99 here in the UK, let's keep it all in pounds. So £9.99, you sell an album, and it's the equivalent of playing to 100 people at an original gig. And that's the original gig. You're going to have to pay for petrol. It's going to take about 12 hours on a Saturday to organise, to actually travel to the venue, to do the sound check, to then get everything set up, to then take everything down at the end of the night. You've got to drive home. Hopefully you don't get a parking ticket, as I have in the past, just trying to unload. This is what's so stupid, is that you can unload your gear, and I got a parking ticket when they could see that I'm unloading and I'm in an unloading bay, and they could see that I'm doing it, that I'm actually carrying an amp, and they gave me a ticket. And I said, this is clearly me unloading my gear in the unloading space outside the venue, but they did it anyway, drove off, and then it took me probably 3 or 4 weeks of now disputing this with pictures. I took pictures of them doing it, of actually putting the sticker on my on my windscreen, showing that I was in the correct bay in order to do it. Anyway, long story short, it got reversed, but it was just a pain having to deal with the local council to get them to reverse it. So you've got all of that hassle, or you could just set up your website and sell one CD. I mean, that's the joke of the industry where it is at the moment. I always say, yeah, just own your publishing, set up a website, and it's a lot easier for you to actually start to make your music financially viable, because going out and gigging isn't financially viable at all for an independent artist currently here in the UK. But anyway, enough about that. Back to the question, which was, if a concert promoter gets caught trying to stiff a band, who repays the band? It's money, or is it lost to lawyer fees? Thanks. So, in that particular scenario, if you're talking about a big gig where you have contracts, then as soon as the promoter signs the contract, and as soon as you sign the contract, if they then stiff the band, as Jennifer puts, then if it's a contract, then you have to honour that contract. And if they don't, then you go to court. And because you got a contract, it means that they will obviously be found as having a breach of contract because you have the contract with their signature on it. If there's not a contract, and with independent bands, I mean, and my history and experience of gigging in smaller venues as an independent artist and with an independent band, generally you don't have contracts until you start getting to the venues that have more in the thousands, rather than just having in the hundreds or even in the tens of people that are going to attend. So if you sell your tickets, or if you don't sell the tickets and then you turn up to play, the venue don't make any money and you don't make any money. If you do sell all the tickets, the venue make the money and you still don't make any money. So they haven't lost anything. So there's no real incentive for them to draw up a contract anyway, because it's just win-win for the venue. But you would have to sign a contract with a venue. In the smaller venues, you never get to sign contracts. They never give you a contract. It's almost like they see playing at their venue as a privilege, and a lot of independent bands don't question it, and they just do it because they think, oh, you've just got to get out there, you just got to gig, you just got to do as many gigs as possible, get out on the road, and they never think about the end goal of making it sustainable. And that's why pretty much 99% of bands go out on the road and end up having to give up, like I did, because it's not financially viable. You're working with your day job, like I was teaching, in order to pay the fuel to actually get to the gig, and you're not getting paid for the gig, and then you have to work again, and this isn't including all your bills and your rent, depending on how much you have to pay, and you're always working at a loss. So in the end, no matter how much you've saved up, you will run out of money. And that's exactly what I did with my band. And then probably about 4 or 5 years ago now, I then took everything online. I took my music online, and because I was doing everything anyway, it's just made sense for me to do it all anyway on the internet. And this is where we end up now, having a YouTube channel where I can interact with you guys. And I can see at the moment there's 241 people watching this live stream, and that's over double that you could hope to get as an independent band and getting paid for a live gig in London. I'm not even talking about playing a live gig where it's in a town where there isn't a big population. I'm talking about Leicester Square. Friday night, you would get maybe 30 to 40 people for independent music, independent bands. For cover bands, that's different, because cover bands play at already organised events like weddings and things like that, where they might be getting paid to play other people's songs. But for what I wanted to do, original music and just playing live and getting your music out there, that wasn't paid, and it still isn't paid. So yeah, this is the thing about going online, setting up your website. You've obviously got to organize it so that, say for example, everybody in the live chat room now wanted to go and buy my album, or wanted to go and buy a song from wingsofpegasus.com, I would make more on this live stream than I could ever hope to make actually gigging, because you wouldn't get paid. You'd have paid the venue £300 and all you'd do is break even. You'd never make any money. So it's not financially viable to be an independent artist here in the UK and go out gigging, especially now with COVID, unfortunately, because of all of the rules, regulations that came in, and it's just not, it's even more unviable, if that's the right word, for playing independent music here in the UK, unfortunately. But if you have got your music online, then well done to you, and just keep working at it. Just make sure that there's a place where people can go to buy your music, and you own all of the publishing rights to it. And it's really easy to organize. I always say about TuneCore, that's the company that I use, and they keep a track on all of my music across the whole of the internet, across YouTube, and just any royalties that I am due, they pick up and then pay to me through the TuneCore account that I have set up. So you just pay a one-off fee. I think it's like maybe $50, something like that, for a year, and then they just look after it all. So yeah, it just makes sense for me to just delegate that to somebody else, just pay them $50, they can do that, rather than me having to go through all of the admin of now checking where my music's been used and where it's been put on the internet with different sites. It's just a lot easier just to, just delegate that. But anyway, thank you, Jennifer. Long answer to that question, but thank you for that. Orlando donated $5 as well. We saw that in the live chat room earlier. Thank you for that. Again, the message is, I am watching US American football. It is the NFL playoffs. I will be watching and listening. Fellow wingers, rock on, Phil, with lots of rock horns again. So thank you for that, Orlando. I hope whoever you want to win wins that. I don't know a lot about American football, so I don't really know what the playoffs are. All I do know is that there's something like, I don't know whether it's baseball or American football, but you have the World Series that isn't actually the world, it's just teams. I think that's what they call it, the World Series, and it's just US teams. So I find that quite entertaining, that you can be champion of the world technically without actually playing everybody in the world. But then again, I'm sure that the teams in the USA are better than everybody else in the world anyway, because it's not really like here we have our national sport is soccer, or football as we call it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty a bad example, because we're not amazing at soccer. I think other teams took on our sport, because we invented soccer. They took on the sport and then just got better than we were at that sport and now beat us at it. So it's a bit embarrassing. Same kind of thing with cricket. I don't know whether we invented that. We might have even invented cricket. Now we get beaten at that. So yeah, the moral of the story is maybe don't invent games that you're not very good at, or don't invent games that other people can then become better at you at. Anyway, thank you for that, Orlando, and that brings us up to date in the super chat window, so thank you for that. And I can see that Steve has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is, here's some parking meter funds or a pint of fuel. Laugh out loud. Joke. Always look forward to Saturday night live streams. Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Steve, for that. Big hello to you guys in the live chat room. I always have that in front of me, so I can see somebody's... Kay Foster said, I'm a BUCS fan. So I don't know what that means. It must be an American football team. But yeah, even if you write them in the live chat room, I won't be able to pick up which team is which and which ones are good or not. But I know they have really interesting names like Titans and stuff like that. Whereas here in the UK, we pretty much just call our teams the place of the team, and then United afterwards, like Manchester United. And we also have Manchester City, we have Newcastle, Tottenham, they're my team. So these are just places, but we do have nicknames for them, like Spurs, and Man United are the Red Devils, I believe. Let me think of some other ones if I can. Well, we have Norwich. I don't know what they're called. Maybe they have a bird on their crest, and I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, long story short, they do have these shorter names. Tottenham are Spurs. Did I just say that? Maybe I said that, or I just repeated it. So yeah, I think over in the USA they actually refer to the teams as these like different animals and things like that. And yeah, I don't know what they're called, so I won't attempt to try and think of any way. Oh, there you go. Richard says Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So thank you for that, Richard. And Bengals and Titans are currently tied. Wow. So I said Titans, and it looks like they might be playing at the moment. So what are the chances of that? I didn't even know for sure that there was a team called Titans. So thank you guys for these names going through the live chat room. And by the way, if this is your first live stream, just say hello, introduce yourself in that live chat room. That's how we all started out, just to get to know each other, and all of the usernames that do go through that live chat room. So let's have a little look at the vote. Don't Stop Believing is at 65% so far. Make sure that you vote on that cover video for tonight, which we will jump into a little bit later on. Coming up to midnight here in the UK, which you can see on the clock, the new edition, and I changed it to live stream Saturday. I remembered to do it before we went live, unlike the last two live streams. So thank you for that, Steve. And Jan has donated 100 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that, Jan. It is a straight up message. And Nancy has donated $5 as well, with a straight up donation again, without the message. Orlando has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, teams in the NFL playoffs are playing for a spot in the big game, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is something that I have heard of, and I don't fully understand how teams get to the Super Bowl, but I know that the Super Bowl is a big thing just because of the halftime shows that I have seen of the Super Bowl that generally always make it onto YouTube, and people react to them literally the second that they come out. They then do a reaction video to whatever the entertainment was. So yeah, I've definitely seen that. Thank you as well to... I can't see clearly because... Is it Rena? It could be Nina or it could be Rena, but it is $10, so thank you for that. The type is really small on my screen, but I'm going to go with Rena. And the message is, my favourite singer, Nana Hedin, who inspired me to sing, is losing her jawbone. Or Nana Hedin, who inspired me to sing, is losing her jawbone after intense radiation therapy to treat stage for tongue cancer. She's raising money for her med expenses at her site. So thank you for that and for mentioning that. And I haven't checked out Nana before, so thank you for pointing everyone in her direction. And it's, certainly sounds like an inspiring story to, I mean, this is the thing about every artist has their own unique personal story, and every artist is in the same boat, that they all want to make music and express themselves, but it is such a difficult road, and some people have a lot more difficult road to travel than other people. And I mean, a great example here of what Rena's just alluded to there. And apologies if I haven't pronounced the name correctly. Like I said, I haven't checked her out yet, but I will do in the future. Thank you for that, Rena. And Mike the Dad Crosby has donated $50 as well. So thank you for that, Mike. And the message is $35 with YouTube's 30% cut. Hope the weather is warmer there than here. 7 Fahrenheit here. So that sounds like it is really cold, because I know that Fahrenheit is a lot higher than Celsius, and that means that 7 Fahrenheit is going to be like minus about a billion in Celsius. So seems like it's very cold there. I mean, here we're around about probably 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, so not quite freezing. I've got the heaters going full blast in here, and I don't think it's as cold outside. I'd have to check the temperature, but yeah, certainly is not as warm as I want it to be, and that's a bit of a drawback about out here. Obviously, watching, you guys can't see the temperature, but out here, because this is like an outbuilding that is brick built and it doesn't have a great deal of insulation, it means that whatever the temperature is outside, that's the temperature in here. So that's why I have to battle against just keeping it warm in here. So it is a bit of a drawback to doing things. I mean, it's a great space to be able to do videos and play music, but it's not the warmest space in the world, unfortunately. But so heaters are on full blast. Certainly this time of year is a bit of a mission, just keeping warm. But thank you for that, Mike. And Jen has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Jen. And I will get into the PayPal donations as well. So never fear, I do address all of them. Let me just get that up on screen as well, because we will be jumping into that. And Jen says, just tuning in, what's that on your right wrist with an inquisitive face? So this is my watch that I'm just having on the inside of my hand. And, I mean, if I press it, it should, and there we go, it should come on just to let me know that it is 32 minutes past midnight. And the reason that I have it on my, obviously I can't have it on my left wrist at the moment, because the left wrist is out of action for, I mean, it's not big enough to fit on there anyway, but even if I didn't have the support on, then I wouldn't be wearing it anyway, just to keep my wrist as free as possible. And at the moment it's not very free, because obviously I'm restricting its movement. But that's the first reason why I've got it on the right hand. But the second reason is that because I've got quite a low fat percentage, it means that I'm quite bony on my wrists, so my bones stick out quite a lot. And because this is one of those smartwatches, it's quite bulky and it's got a little bit of weight to it, so it means that when I have it on the other side of my wrist, it's constantly bumping onto my bones. And yeah, that's one of the problems having a low fat percentage, is that there isn't a lot of cushioning around your joints. So yeah, it was just uncomfortable. It would kind of rub on the kind of outside my wrist, so it wasn't affecting the inside of my wrist. That's all fine, but it was just causing me a little bit of issues, a few issues on the outside. So I now have it on the inside, so I just flip it over, press it, and then it tells you what the time is. But I think you have to press it a little bit longer than that. There you go, that is now showing the time. And it's the reason that I got the watch, because I had another watch that used to run on standard batteries and it lasted for about a year, and then I had to get another battery, and then it lasted about 6 or 7 months, then I had to get another battery. So I thought it was better just to bite the bullet and buy one of these ones, because I would end up spending more on the batteries on my other watch than just to buy one of these and just recharge it every week. I think it lasts for about 7 days, the battery, and I don't use a watch a hell of a lot, but just when I want to see it, I kind of press on it. And I didn't even realize that it's quite a fancy one, because it tells you about when you're sleeping. So, for example, today I realized that this green light that was going off is monitoring my sleep. So I could see that last night I had something like 7 hours and 30 minutes in all, but I was asleep I was awake for 45 minutes. It usually takes me a long time to get to sleep, and I blame doing comments and all that kind of stuff on the computer before I go to bed. It then takes me about 45 minutes to get to sleep, so I have about 6, or at least last night I had about 6.5 hours. So yeah, it tells me how much sleep I had, and I think 4.5 hours of that was classed as a light sleep. So I know that I've got to try and get better at sleeping, because I'm always on the verge of waking up, which isn't a good part or a good point to find out about your sleeping, but I will try and get better at that. But that's, for example, something that I've learned from my watch today. So anyway, thank you for that, Jen, and hopefully that's going to explain it. Maybe I was looking actually at getting another, because this is just the default strap. So I was thinking about getting another strap that's maybe a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Jen. And Jan has donated 19 Norwegian kroner again, and I think that says on set. And it's like one of those director's chairs. We are live. We are technically on set. So the director chair. This doesn't have a name on it, this one, but it can get very squeaky. So thank you, Stardust Unicorn, as well, who has donated $5. Stardust Unicorn, who is as you guys know by now, the support band to Wings of Pegasus. Maybe at Guffest, who knows. And Diane has donated $5 as well. And thank you for that, Diane. The message is, Phil, it was -5 Fahrenheit here this morning. The cold must affect your hands for playing. So thank you for that. And yes, it does. The colder your hands are, the less flexibility, but overall control you get. It's like when your hands are cold and you're trying to like undo buttons or do up buttons that are small, and you can't move your fingers in order to do it. Exactly the same with playing guitar. If you can't move your fingers, it's going to be really difficult to play. So this is why playing outside in cold weather conditions, you have to take that into consideration for your guitar playing, that you might have to simplify some guitar lines because you won't have that flexibility and you won't have that speed of motion that you would normally get if you were nice and warm. So yes, definitely does affect your playing and that left hand. So thank you for that, Diane. Let me just jump over to the donations window, because I want to mention that I did write an email to Roderick a little bit earlier, just before I went live, but thank you for your donation. And I had a donation that came in on Thursday at 10 to 1 in the morning, and that came in from Dead Ahead Books. So thank you for that donation, and it was for £3.67. Yeah, so that's about a day after the last live stream on Tuesday. So thank you for that. So just to get up to date with the PayPal donations, and then there's another one that came in a little bit earlier as well. And this was from Paul, who donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 226,000. Awesome. I love this happy place. Please spike those likes. So a great idea. Hit that thumbs up if possible. And yes, that was another earlier donation, and that was 226,000, and we've just passed 227,000. So thank you guys for subscribing, and thank you, Paul, for that donation. Right, let me try and get this up to date. So we had a donation that came in during the live stream from Suzanne, who has donated £7.06. Thank you for that, and it's a straight up donation. And let me just get this a little bit better so that it's showing up on screen more accurately. Bonnie has donated £7.05 as well. Thank you for that, Bonnie. And that's again a straight up donation. And Sue has donated £20. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is just stopping in for a minute to spike the likes. I'll catch up the rest on the catch-up crew. So thank you for that, Sue. And if you are watching this in the future and you're part of that catch-up crew, you can still hit that thumbs up. That'd be massively appreciated if you could do that. It helps the channel to grow on the whole and for these live streams to get out there a little bit more. So thank you, Sue, for donating just while you're watching and for these few minutes, and hello to you again when you're watching this in the future, part of that catch-up crew. So just scrolling up because Richard has donated £3 as well. Thank you for that, Richard. And the message is, this is in lieu of seeing you at a live gig. It's sad that we won't have a chance to see you play in person. So thank you for that, Richard. And I think all of that is dependent on obviously COVID and rules and live music picking up again and potentially Guffest and being able to go to different countries. So yeah, it's a shame, but I never say never. Maybe at some point in the future it will be possible, so fingers crossed. We'll have to see what happens and what happens on this crazy journey of mine. I mentioned about every artist having their different journeys, but certainly my journey is one of just ever-evolving states and just things really taking off on the channel recently, getting a lot more subscribers. And again, with I know that on this particular live stream we've already hit our likes goals, so just hitting likes goals really quickly it seems at the moment on the live stream. So thank you guys for clicking that thumbs up. But yeah, my own ever-evolving journey, we'll see where it ends up. But the good thing is that you guys will be able to see it as well because you're along for the ride, and I'll always keep you guys in the loop with these live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday and over on patreon.com. So thank you for that, Richard. And Karen has donated £3.53. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, just wanted to share this quote from Miguel de Cervantes. He who sings frightens away his ills. Congratulations on reaching 227,000 subscribers, and thanks for the positivity you bring. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that one and for the quote as well. I'm just going to scroll up because there has been another one that's just come in from Diana, who has donated £5. Thank you for that, Diana. And the message is, howdy Phil, howdy all y'all wingers, go Packers, cheeseheads are us, woot, we rock. So whatever that means, obviously the Packers must be an American football team. So thank you for that, Diana, and cheeseheads as well. Yeah, woot and rock. So thank you for that, Diana. I think that was a very American style comment that probably didn't sound quite the same in an English accent, but thank you for that. And Melanie has donated £7.06. Thank you for that, Melanie. And the message is, stay warm, really proud of you. So thank you for that. And we are up to date with the donations over on PayPal. So thank you for all of those donations there. And in the super chat window, I can see that Jennifer has donated $5 as well. Thank you again. The message is, Phil, today is Neil's birthday. Thanks for our great mods. So thank you for that. And this is something that I did write down because a little birdie told me this earlier in the week, that it was going to be Neil's birthday, and I'm not sure. It might be Neil's birthday either today for you guys. I'm actually in Sunday at the moment because it's 1:45 here in the morning, very early on Sunday morning, which means that Neil will be even later in Sunday. So Neil will be in the future. So I don't know whether it's still Neil's birthday. It might have been his birthday yesterday, so technically Saturday, which he's now in Sunday. But anyway, everyone say a huge happy birthday to Neil and wish him very many happy returns for yesterday, if that was it. And if it was your birthday yesterday, happy birthday, Neil. I hope you had a fantastic day. And if it's your birthday today and it's a very early morning, then I hope you have a great day. But I suspect that it was yesterday. At least that's what I remember from the comment that I was sent. And it might have been Vince that told me, and I've just made, I don't know whether that mental note was correct or not. But yeah, everybody say a huge happy birthday to Neil. So I can see that Alexandria has donated $20. So thank you for that, Alexandria. And the message is, Wisconsin is America's dairy land, and we are known as cheeseheads. We love our cheeses. A laugh out loud. So thank you for that. And I'm a fan of cheese as well, but I'm not one of these, well, I'm not one of these people who goes mad for cheese. I know that there's loads of different types of cheese, and there's cheese that's about 2 million years old. I'm not really into that kind of cheese. I just like cheddar cheese, cheddar cheese that's a bit mature, and I don't tend to really go for anything too out there. Maybe, I don't know I don't even know the cheeses very well. Was brie. That's another one. I might have had brie before. Sometimes, I mean, very rarely, I'm in the mood for cheese and crackers and grapes. For some reason, I like to kind of have those together. So yeah, I'm just making myself feel quite hungry now talking about cheese and crackers. Because, yeah, I think I'm now in a bit of a mood for some cheese and crackers, so thank you for that. But, yeah, I'm not really... Oh, Cheeseheads, that's something that's just reminded me of a film called Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. And there's a couple of guys that are jumping off the mountain. They do their, base jumping, whatever it's called, and they call somebody a cheesehead. And I don't know why that just popped into my head, but these random lines from movies. He was talking to his friend and he called him a cheesehead. And I never knew what that referred to, but now I know, and it makes a little bit more sense. So thank you for that, Alexandria. And Carl has donated $5 and says, rest in peace, Marvin Lee, a day better known as Meatloaf. So thank you for that, Carl. And this is something that I found out about last night. Actually, I'd already made my video and I didn't reference it in my video because I didn't actually know at that point. So one person did comment and said, disappointed to not hear you talk about or refer to Meatloaf, and I literally didn't know at the point that I did the video. So I mean, my video process is quite isolated in that once I start making a video, I have to do a lot getting the pitch graph from my phone and syncing up audio and video, so I'm not really checking social media and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I didn't find out after I had actually recorded it, edited it, and then I started to upload it and then look at messages, and that's when I found out. So I will be doing a video tomorrow night. So yeah, I know that a lot of you have requested it, so thank you guys for those requests. And I think a lot of people don't know that Meatloaf changed his name to Michael, and that was in the early 80s because he was bullied at school about his name Marvin, and he never liked it, so he then changed it. So yeah, I think a lot of people still refer to him as Marvin, but really it should be Michael. And that's something that I think I did mention on my first analysis video that I did on Meatloaf about his name, and people said, oh, don't you mean Marvin? So then, yeah, I had to kind of explain that he did change it for personal reasons in the early 80s. But anyway, thank you for that, Carl. Right, let's get things... it's gone 1:45 here in the morning, so I'm going to have to keep things organised and push forward. Let's have a look at the cover video. It looks like it's going to be Don't Stop Believing. So let's wait for the official result, but it looked like it was 60-something%. And it was, yes, 65% for Don't Stop Believing. So 305 votes, a lot of votes tonight on the poll. So thank you guys for voting for your favourite cover out of those two. Maybe someday we will get to hear the Chad Kroeger hero cover. But tonight is going to be Don't Stop Believing. And this was requested due to the fact that it is Steve Perry's birthday today. So anyway, we will jump into this. So I hope you guys enjoy it, my version of Don't Stop Believing, and I'll catch you guys after. Rock!
Small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. There's shadows searching in the night.
So much for watching my cover of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The names you can see here are my patrons. Hi patrons, thanks so much for your support and for making videos like this possible. If you want to get involved yourself and if you want to talk to me and maybe suggest some other songs that I can cover, head to this website down here, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And if I don't see you on Patreon, I'll see you at the next video. Have a great day. Rock. And there we have it. That was my version of the Journey classic, Don't Stop Believing. And Neil Schon himself got in touch with me to say that he liked that. Which is great, because it means if he liked it, that's all I need to know, really. Because sometimes you'll get people on YouTube who just like to troll, and especially with that video, I can say, well, every single troll's opinion anyway is irrelevant, but especially when you've been backed up by, the actual guy himself. So yeah, that was great. But anyway, thank you guys for requesting that one, for voting on it so that we saw it tonight. Right, it is almost 5 to 1 here in the morning. So we usually stop these live streams and finish around 1:15. I know that I've gone over a couple of times recently because I've been talking about the whole Paul McCartney thing and the Fall and the Paul, and that's made the live streams go on a little bit longer. Just to mention that, I had quite a funny comment today. Of course, the comments, the emails still coming in about it. I had a funny comment today that said that when I had the Paul picture and the Fool picture, and they were sent to me as proof that it's a different person, and then I put one picture over the top of the other one, and it's a perfect match. And I mean, like, the skeleton, the skull is a perfect match. The eyes are in exactly the same place. They then responded and said, that's not a fair comparison because Fool is older, therefore his face would change through aging. So it's changed through aging. It wasn't exactly the same because it's a fake Paul, but then it's changed through aging to now be exactly the same. So it's just a fluke that's happened through the natural aging process. Therefore, it's unfair to compare those two faces. And I'm not replying to any comments anymore. Like I said, I have had comments from professional musicians who just say it is really silly especially on a musical level, because professional musicians know that you cannot learn to play bass at the same level physiologically. We're not talking about just holding down a note and getting it to sound the same. It's having the exact same technique physiologically. Like, if you're a professional musician, you know how many millions of variations that you can do with your hand, and angles, the angle at which your forearm is. I've mentioned all this. So yeah, just musically it doesn't make sense, but just the fact that there's a picture that matches perfectly from the fake one to the real one, I thought was probably a good way to show that it's the same person. But even then, apparently that doesn't count. It doesn't count because it's unfair, because the Fall picture, he's a bit older. So you can't really argue, because there's no way the getting older changes your skull. Your skull is the same. Like, when I am hopefully like 80 years of age, my skull wouldn't have changed. Only the skin around it might have changed. I'll look a little bit different, probably have a few more lines, but fundamentally it's still on the same skull. I'm still gonna, if I put a picture of myself now over one when I'm 80, my eyes will still be in the same place because they're in eye sockets, which is the skull. It never moves, it never changes. So yeah, unless you've had an accident and you have actually fractured your skull and you've got to have surgery, then you will look different. And that's a great way of, again, proving the point that if you have surgery, you can't get the skulls to match up. The technology doesn't even exist now, let alone back in 1966. But let's not talk about that anymore. So M has donated $5. Thank you for that, M. And the message is, rock on, go Chiefs. So we've got another American football team in the house, Chiefs, whoever they are. So good luck to them, whatever they're doing. But thank you, M, for that donation. And we are going to be getting into just one picture tonight and then the pick roulette in a second. So thank you, by the way, to Peter, who has donated £2 as well. And the message is, "Hi Phil, love the channel, has taught me loads. I'm a great Glenn Campbell fan. What a talent, keep rocking." So thank you for that, Peter. And yeah, I mean, Glenn is one of those guys that I have done a few analysis videos on, because he was just such a next level artist, just with just everything. But anyway, thank you for that, Peter. And just scrolling up, because Marilyn has donated £17 and 65 pence. Thank you for that, Marilyn. And the message is, "Willing to spend a few just to see if I can get Phil to say the Bears are better than the Packers." So thank you for that, Marilyn. And technically that was a quote, so I wouldn't even know how good the teams are. So don't take my word for anything relating to American football. Thank you for that, Marilyn. But it worked, because I did say it. And Orlando has donated £10. Again, thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, and it's going to be a long one, 14 NFL teams qualified for this year's playoffs. There is a first round or wild card round involving 8 teams, a second round or divisional round involving the remaining 8 teams, a third round, semi-finals, or championship rounds with 4 remaining teams. Conference championships are crowned. Remaining teams play for the overall championship or the Super Bowl. I hope it makes things more clear. So thank you for that. So it looks like you have the teams. Is it like a league that you have, like here with soccer, we have a league, and then the top 6 teams get into the European competitions. So I guess it's like that you have the top 8 teams then kind of play each other, and then the winners go on. So you have like a quarter-final, a semi-final, and then a final. Sometimes they have quarter-finals, and they have like semi-finals, and then a second semi-final. So yeah, it's probably something like that. And then the final is the Super Bowl. So I think I kind of get the idea, but sometimes it's good to see it laid out in like a playoffs kind of spreadsheet, so you know who beats who and where they go and who they're going to play next. But thank you for that, Orlando. I think I get the general idea. And Carla has donated £5 and 7 pence. Thank you for that, Carla. And that is a straight up donation. So let's quickly jump into just the picture for tonight, which I need to get the background up on screen. And I think it's just going to be the one that we're looking at. And technically, it's not even a human. And when I say technically, I really do mean technically, because Mary sent this in from one of the previous live streams, and you can see that Mary's dog, I believe it's Honey, but I'm not sure, I'm relying on memory here, who's watching the Wings of Pegasus live stream. As I always say, the live streams are pet friendly, animal friendly. So thank you for sending this one in, Mary. And that is it, just the one picture for tonight. So we'll get everything back to me, and we're going to be getting into the pick roulette for tonight. So we haven't had a top tip yet. I'm going to be picking somebody. So good luck to everybody. I'll pick the name on the wheel and obviously guarantee the fact that they won't win. Unfortunately, my 0% streak retained continues. So let's jump into tonight's Saturday night pick roulette. Good luck, everyone, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the wheel up on screen. And if this is your first pick roulette, the darker segments here are the t-shirts, and if we land on one of those, then we have a separate spin to find out who's going to win the custom-made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt that's signed as well. But if we just land on one of these names, then somebody's going to win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And if this is your first pick roulette, then in order to enter the next one, make sure that you stay tuned and just copy what everyone else does after this, because we have hit the likes goal for tonight, which means we are going to be having a pick roulette next week. So Let's have our top tip for tonight. Tom G going through. Let me make a note of Tom G's username, and let's give it a spin and see who is going to win. So, good luck to everybody who's going to win the signed pick tonight, where it might land on a t-shirt. In which case, if it does land on a t-shirt, then we spin. We're going to have a t-shirt roulette, but then we spin the wheel again to make sure that somebody is going home with the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So, here we go. We are slowing down. And I can see Tom G at the top, but it's not going to get that far, unfortunately. It is going to be either Tom or Frank. And it is Frank that it has landed on, so congratulations to you, Frank. If you can let yourself be known, let me just move that across a little bit, in the live chat room to Carla, that would be great, so that she can organise everything with you to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. And just a little bit of housekeeping, that if your name does end up being the winning name on the pick roulette, you have to be watching so that you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room so that everything can get organised, and you have to be using the same YouTube account, the username that is on the wheel, because we don't have multiple accounts and multiple entries, because it's going to be impossible for Carla to chase up the winner. And so those are the rules. Just one username that has to be attending on the live stream and let themselves be known to Carla during the live stream to pick up the pick, because of course if people aren't watching, then again it's going to be impossible for Carla to be endlessly chasing up people for every single live stream. We have 2 live streams a week, and you know, if people don't reply for 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to be impossible. So this is why we make sure that everybody is tuned in while the live stream is going on. But congratulations to Frank, commiserations to Tom G. Apologies for that, again, maintaining my 0% winning streak on that front. But again, commiserations to everybody else. As I always say, if you want to increase your chances of winning, make sure that you tune in on a Tuesday night as well as a Saturday night, because we have the pick roulette then if we do reach those targets, those likes, goals that we do set up on the live streams, as you can see there in the corner, which we have reached tonight. So if you want to get your name on next week's pick roulette wheel, do what I'm about to do, and you can start to see everybody doing in the live chat room. I'm going to type at and Carla Murray, so tagging Carla in the comment like that, and then type I agree, exclamation mark, and you'll be able to see in the live chat room. Just keep your eye in there, just focus on what everyone's doing, just copy what everyone's doing if this is your first pick roulette, your first live stream, to get your name on next week's one, and then you'll be in it. And as I always say, you have to be in it to win it. Of course, in every sense, you got to be in the live stream to get your name on the wheel, and then you've got to be in the live stream when your name's on the wheel to then win it. So you've got to be in it to win it. So good luck to everybody for the future, for next week, but tune in on Tuesday as well if you want to increase your chances of winning. So let's jump into maybe another video. We'll see. It's 6 minutes past 1 here, so we've still got probably about 9 minutes. I was going to say 9 minutes. It's now gone over. It's over that side. My clock is, over in, I guess, if I just point to the clock on my screen, it's kind of in the right area. I have to remember that for the future. But it's 7 minutes past 1 here, so we've got about 7 minutes to get your entries in for next week. So let me have a little look over on Patreon and see what was requested over there. I think there was a Phil tune over there somewhere. Let me have a little scroll down. And the library Phil tune is in there twice. From what I can see. So, 3 times. Anyway, right, we're going to have the library cartoon that we will have a little look at, the Phil tune, I should say. And let me see if I can actually find it first of all. We'll jump into this, and this is going to be your last chance to enter your name into next week's Pick Roulette. So just tag Carla Murray in that live chat room and type I agree. Let's jump into it, and this is one of my real life stories. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Guys, I'm so excited. I have just managed to get us an awesome gig.
Well, I do hope our definition of awesome coincide.
Well, I know a guy who works at a pub and he said we can play there this Friday night.
You know a guy. So far, to be honest, I'm on the fence about this gig. Persuade me. Where is the venue? Will I have heard of it?
The pub is called the Golden Guff. It is in Surrey. My friend has told me it will be amazing. We need this gig.
Well, it certainly sounds like a reputable joint. It's about an hour's drive, but I'm going to trust you on this. Let's book the gig.
We won't regret it. The place will be packed. I can't wait.
Wowzers, this pub really looks like a library. Hello there. Do you work here?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do need help. Thanks for asking. We are the band who are playing here this evening. What is the plan?
Are you sure there is live music tonight?
Well, I ruddy hope so. If not, my bandmate has yet again stitched me up, as well as himself. So, who is in charge?
I am the only person working here tonight.
Well, at least we know, therefore it will not be busy tonight. Great. Where is the stage, and we'll start to set up?
Well, whenever someone has played an acoustic guitar, they have been sitting here, so you can play in this area.
Oh my guff heck of frig. You may actually notice there are tables and sofas in the way, not to mention just being a woeful position for music.
I'm afraid you'll have to move the table and sofas out of the way then.
Well, as I'm a musician and I want to play, I will do this manual labor in addition to the hour's drive. I also assume we are not getting paid for this gig.
That is correct.
At least you're holding up your end of the bargain. Well, let's get to work, guys. These sofas look like the heaviest sofas we will ever lift in our lives.
I'll leave you to it, and I'll make sure that if you need anything, I will be impossible to find.
Many thanks for following standard protocol. Great job, guys. It only took an hour and I think I've got a hernia. But I'm sure it will all be totally worth it and not a gig we should have declined. Just the person I was looking for. So, where is the PA? Is it quite heavy to lift? And also, how many channels does your mixer have?
We don't have a PA here.
Ha 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 ha. That was a fantastically great joke. Wasn't it? Or should I say, it better have been.
No, what you see is what we have.
That, I'm afraid, is sweet guffaw. Well, what do you usually do on live music nights then?
Jacob usually does all the band stuff. He's not here today, but I have his number if you want to talk to him.
That might be an idea. At least every last detail of this gig has been meticulously planned by the venue, otherwise we could all look like absolute total amateurs. Hello Jacob, I'm Phil from the band that are playing at your pub tonight. Where is the PA? And the mixer? For the gig? Okay, so it's in your car. And you are in your car at the moment. And you're 5 hours drive away. Do you think this may be an issue? Considering we're playing in 45 minutes, you didn't realize what the time was? Oh well, that is a very acceptable excuse. I mean, how could anyone ever have foreseen these unlikely turn of events? Unbelievable. So here is the situation. The PA is 5 hours away. We have 45 minutes until we start. So this venue has quite truly rogered our collective bums in the guff.
Oh dear. I can't help feeling partially responsible for us being in this position.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Just so you know, your friends and family are also just starting to arrive. They must have made the hour-long drive to support you.
Oh. Great. Well, as ridiculous as this sounds, I have purchased my own PA, so that if a music venue is retarded enough to not have any equipment, I have everything. It just so happens it's in my sister's boyfriend's van, who should be here shortly. So, it seems that you as a collective venue won't have egg on your face. You jammy dodgers.
I don't understand.
Oh, just that to the innocent onlooker, you'll look like you have a great PA system and are a great live music venue, when in fact you are actually a total load of rubbish guff venue. With no idea, and couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery. Present location accepted. No offense.
None taken.
You are seriously mentally vacant. I'm going to slag off this pub to my family now. Bye.
And there we have it. That was one of my fill tunes, as they're referred to as now, and just a standard day in the life of an independent musician in an independent band. So thank you guys for requesting that one. And oh, by the way, we had a donation that came in from Orlando for $2. And Orlando said, Steve Perry is my all-time favorite vocalist. Happy birthday. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, Steve Perry's birthday, by the way, today. In case you didn't know, that wasn't Orlando saying it to me, but it was Neil's birthday yesterday. So we were saying happy birthday. Technically, it's still Neil's birthday in the USA. So I'm sure a lot of you said happy birthday to Neil because it's still technically relevant to say so over in the USA. Anyway, we're going to be calling things to a close now. I think everything is up to date with donations, and thank you guys so much for all of the donations during the live stream. Not only this live stream, but the other live streams as well. It really does make a difference. And over on Patreon, I do say that that's the foundation of the channel, because it really is. But the extra donations during the live streams just give me a little bit extra leeway for things that do pop up. And there's always something unexpected that will happen where you need to have some kind of backup plan. And generally, backup plans do, require finances. So thank you guys for all of your support. I always say about the hard drives that I just fill up all the time making the videos, because I do make them pretty regularly, and usually for each video there's like 3 different versions of the video because I have to compress it in order to upload it, and then if I have a copyright block then I have to re-edit it, and all of this information just goes on a hard drive, so you can end up having, I don't know how, maybe like 10 gigabytes for one video, and sometimes even more than that. So yes, certainly hard drives are one of those things that are essential to keep on doing this kind of thing, but because of your support it means that I can keep on going and not have to worry about having to delete other stuff and remove this and move it over there, move another thing onto another hard drive. And with the live streams, as I've said, a lot of the stuff that I use are subscription services, so they're a monthly payment that I can stay up with because of your donations. So thank you guys so much for those, and you guys are the reason that we can do these live streams and just keep on doing them on a Tuesday and a Saturday. As I've always said, if you guys are going to be there, I will always be there on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. And I'm going to be doing that video on Meatloaf tomorrow night, so look out for that one. And just for future videos, if you want to subscribe and hit that notification bell and check that box to make sure that you don't miss a video, then I advise you doing that. Or if you are over on Patreon, then you'll know that you do get notified, and I do a post for every single video over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, so you'll definitely definitely not miss a video over on Patreon, but you might miss a video on YouTube because I think sometimes it doesn't put them out there all the time. But hopefully if you check that box to be notified for every video, then it will. But just from some people who are subscribed who then didn't get notified and had to kind of unsubscribe and resubscribe. But anyway, it should all work fine as long as you kind of click that box and hit that notification bell. So I will see you guys tomorrow night at that video. I'll see you live on Tuesday night as well. Everybody, as I always say, stay safe, stay isolated, you know, I don't think it's really self-medicate. I don't think that's the right word. But, you know, just use common sense with all of the guidelines that we're given, all that kind of stuff. Stay as safe as possible, wear your masks, and whatever your government is advising you do to stay the safest that you can possible, then just follow as much advice as you can and as you see fit. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I'll hopefully see you again live on Tuesday night. Thank you guys for subscribing, and you know, 227 is just a crazy amount of subscribers, but we will keep on pushing forward, see where we end up, and I will see you guys at the next one. Rock!